everybody, welcome back to another reading vlog. I am so excited to start this reading vlog because the books that I'm gonna be reading are gonna be amazing. Previously, my past 3 vlogs, they have been a themed vlog of some sort. Whether it was trying to finish a series, whether it's trying to read new releases, so on and so forth, I thought the perfect way to get out of, I wouldn't say I have a reading slump, but I feel like I don't know how it feels like to not have a set TBR, and all I want to do this week is to just mood read. Although I have a TBR in front of me that I'm going to show you in a little bit, it is not set in stone. So if I don't read any of these, do not be angry. Because this is just roughly what I feel like I want to read right now. It could change in the next week because I am taking you guys along for the whole week. One of my goals as well is to finally finish all the books I'm currently in the middle of. And I'm currently in the middle of 3 books. So those 3 will be my main focus of the vlog. But I also have other books that I would love to read if there is time. So the book that I'm currently in the middle of is Lady Midnight, the first book in the Dark Artifices series. I am 287 pages into this book. I have not continued this book since end of March, probably. Now is May. I really need to get into it. I have the audiobook for it. I think I'm gonna be mainly reading this on audio or listening to this because I don't know. I feel like, I don't know why. It's probably because I have the audio, but we shall see. Maybe we do like a little bit of immersive reading or we just read it physically. We shall see. But this is one of the books that I would love to focus on. The next book that I'm currently in the middle of is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is the book that I picked up a few days ago and would love to finish it. I don't know if I would finish it today, but I am tempted. Yeah, I'm currently on page 234. I will talk to you a little bit more whenever I finish with this book, I think, so that I can get like a bigger picture. All I can say right now is that we're following 2 sisters and both of them very impacted by the world wars. We are following these 2 French women. So we get to see the implications of war in France. So that is all I'm gonna say so far. I'm gonna maybe talk to you a little bit more later about this book. And then the last book that I'm currently in the middle of is A Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I think I'm not that far into it. I'm like 30 pages in. I'm 36 pages in, so not that far at all, but I will be reading this because I finished the 4 books that is in this series, the like original trilogy, and one is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I just finished that like last week, I think. Yeah, last week. And now I'm gonna be focusing on the last book in the series. And I think, if I'm not wrong, I saw it somewhere that the trailer is out, so I'm really excited to watch it. We're following Haymitch's Hunger Games. He is the mentor of Katniss and Peeta in the first trilogy. Not the first trilogy, in the main trilogy. So I'm super excited to see it. I'm super excited to read this. I think this is gonna be heartbreaking. So yeah, that is that. Okay, so you guys can see the range, like all the books that I just talked about, just like on top of the couch. Ignore that. Hopefully they don't fall. But let's talk about the books that I think I want to read or to start reading. The first one I think I want to read is Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. Have not read a contemporary romance in a while, and I thought, what a better way to read contemporary romance than reading books from new author to me. So I've heard a lot of good things about this author, Peyton Corinne, so I'm super excited to get into this. Based on the cover, it might be like a figure skating and ice hockey romance. We shall see. Very excited. So yeah, that is Unsteady. And then the last book I have in this TBR is a really thick one. I personally think this is a stretch. I would probably not get it this far in a week. I'll try my best and finish all 4 that I've mentioned. But if I'm in the mood to finish like a mini series, I can finish this book, Redeeming Six, which is the second book in, I guess, the fourth book in the Boys of Tommen series, but we're following Joey in this like mini series. First book was Saving Six, second book is Redeeming Six, and then like fifth book we're following, I think, Gypsy, if I'm not wrong. But either way, if I manage to read all four and there's still time left, I'm gonna start this one. So yeah, I'm super excited for this week's vlog. I'm gonna try my best to finish the 3 books that I'm currently in the middle of, and for Unsteady, it's just whenever I feel like reading it. So yeah, let's just go on ahead and start this vlog before I started rambling about nothing for the next half an hour. So let's just go ahead and start with the first book, which I think I'm gonna be reading The Nightingale. So let's go ahead. It is a few days later and I have just finished The Nightingale. I don't even know what to say about this, guys. I had told you that I will talk a little bit more about this, and that I shall. So this book follows 2 sisters. They are very different. They're in the middle of war, so we're following these 2 sisters throughout the World Wars from, I think, 1942, if I'm not wrong. Wait, 42? 41? No, actually, we're starting 1939. So we're following Vianne and Isabel. Vianne is a very rule follower kind of person, so she really just follows anything that the Germans told her. And then Isabel, meanwhile, she's not happy with how the war is, so she is trying to rebel. And the extent of her rebellion is that she started off like really small, just spreading like pamphlets of propaganda, or like pamphlets of rebellious like acts, I guess, against the Germans. And then it became to she rescuing pilots that got shot down by the Germans and climbing this crazy mountain that borders France and Spain that time, or still, I'm not sure. And with that, she has rescued 117 people, which is so crazy, and her code name is the Nightingale. Vianne, on the other side, she has a daughter and a husband. The husband was a postman and got posted or got drafted to become a soldier for the war, and so she is awaiting for him to come back. But in this small town that she lives in, there's a German that is staying at her house. There's 2 Germans, both night and day. One is actually kind of nice, has a heart. It's just that it's a guy in the wrong profession, I guess. And then this other guy is absolutely vile. Anyway, and then we're just following pretty much from 1939 all the way to 1945. This book is so heartbreaking, but I feel like it is also very... I can see how wars can be like this for some people, and it probably is like this for some people. It's just the ending so heartbreaking, and I think it is probably the best ending that you could get from everyone, considering the circumstances. I feel for Isabel. She is such a young girl with so much passion, and then in the end it all just got like, all her fire just got blown away by the war, which is so sad. She's so passionate, and yeah, it's just interesting to read this book because in the point of view, we get to see the war in a lot of point of view, because sometimes when I read about like the World War or like any historical fiction that is containing the world wars, it's mainly like about a Jew in Germany, or like what is happening in Germany during that time, and to see it in like France, the point of view of French people, is very interesting, seeing that they also had it rough. We get to see the French Jews, how they were treated, and even like the French born, how they were treated. And if you're a rebel, how is it to be that? And if you're a rule follower, and how is it to be that? And I feel like it's so interesting to see it in so many different perspectives, because yeah, I guess like the war is definitely not just like one perspective, or like two perspective, like the victim and the colonizer, or like the proprietor, the one who started the war. But it's definitely, it has a lot of sides, which yeah, the ending destroyed me. And in the beginning I was already so confused, and like, because sometimes we get glimpses of the timeline in 1995, and I was like, what is happening in 1995, and like, who is this Julian? But in the end it all got explained, which is, yeah, quite crazy. But I think this might be a 5-star. I feel like it's not a 6-star just because in the beginning it was quite slow, but I think if it were a little bit faster, or like something, I don't know, something just, it's just not perfect for me specifically. I think the book as a whole is definitely a 5-star, but if the beginning parts were a little bit like more fast-paced for me, I think it would have probably been a 6-star read. So yeah, really enjoyed this, and I just finished this like, I think 10 minutes ago. I'm still so, it's so unbelievable how it ended, but it's also like, I'm so heartbroken for our characters, but also at the same time it might be the best outcome. So yeah, anyway, that is The Nightingale. Since I am semi listening to this, or I listened the other day, I really don't know where I'm at right now. I've been trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. I would definitely went past this scene already, and it's chapter 7 / I'm 90 pages into the book, so I'm a third into the book. It is so far so interesting. I already know this is gonna break my heart. It's every time I talk about Sunrise and the Reaping, I know how rough it's gonna be. So that is Sunrise and the Reaping so far. We're pretty much close the brink of the happening of the Hunger Games. So we are now still like prepping and like getting ready and getting mentored at, and like just, yeah, all sorts of stuff. And right now though, because I need to just take a breather from The Nightingale, I decided to start Unsteady. I have not read a lot yet. I think I've read like one chapter. I'm page 16, so definitely not that far into it, but I think it could be a good, like a palate cleanser kind of thing, because I don't know if I can read Sunrise and the Reaping right after The Nightingales. That would probably be slightly too much. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna continue reading Unsteady for the next few days, / if it's really good, probably will finish it tonight since the day is young. But other than that, I think I have nothing else to update you about. The plan that I'm gonna be pursuing for the next at least half an hour is Unsteady by Peyton Green. So let's go ahead and read this book. Everyone, I think I haven't talked to you guys in so long, 4 days, and this is supposed to be a weekly vlog. And since then I have also quite a major reading update. I finished 2 books and I'm about to start another one, but I'm currently obsessed with other things, as I am currently getting back into loving reading manhwas and mangas. So before we get into that, let's just talk through the two books that we read, and then we can go lightly into what I'm currently reading and then what I'm gonna continue reading. So the first book that I finished is Unsteady by Peyton Kareen. It is about two athletes. One is a figure skater and then one is a hockey player, ice hockey player. Pretty much both of them, they have like their own problems, so to say. Riz has trauma regarding like his past accident, and he cannot seem to like get over it, and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And with Sadie is struggling because of the circumstances that she has with her family. The dad is an alcoholic, a drunkard, and then she has two little brothers that she needs to care for. Also, if you hear rain sound from outside, I have the window like slightly open because it is kind of relaxing to hear like the rain outside. It's quite chilly today, which is kind of nice because we have been getting like really nice sunshine. I love that, but also at the same time I do miss the colder weather. So anyway, getting slightly distracted. Their meet cute was actually not so cute because Riz is having like a panic attack because of the things that he's dealing with. He cannot seem to go back into playing ice hockey or just being on ice. So he's slowly but surely going into it, and he's in the middle of a panic attack because he was dealing with this. Yeah, and then that's how he met Sadie, and then Sadie pretty much helped him slash like she's the only one that made him feel that way, because he felt like after the accident he was so numb the whole time. Sadie's the one who made him feel something, so to say. So yeah, I don't know whether I actually enjoy this book. I think it is just like a typical sports romance that is quite spicy. I keep skimming through the spicy scenes or like the smut because I just don't care about it, guys. I feel like the contemporary romances that I'm looking for has basically no spicy scenes, and all I want is like the emotional depths between the characters, and I do love like how they overcome their issue, although like I feel like here it does not make sense because it feels like we all know this from like typical contemporary romance, like, oh, my partner will like help me. But in reality, I think if you have like a mental block of some sort, or if you have like quite a trauma, you need to work through it yourselves, like as individual, and then come together for it to become not like a toxic relationship. It does though give me a little bit of Johnny and Shannon's vibe from Binding and Keeping 13. So it was quite interesting to see. It's definitely much shorter. But I do love Binding and Keeping 13 so much more. This could be, like, if you've never read Binding and Keeping 13, this could be something interesting to read. But I feel like since I already read Binding and Keeping 13 and I do love them, this feels very meh. I think in Fable, I rated it 3 stars. If I'm completely honest, it's probably 2.75, but I don't really rate books under 3 that I finished unless it's like really horrible. This is not horrible, it's just like, it's just fine. So yeah, again, like, there's just too many spicy scenes that I feel like is so unnecessary. But yeah, I do want to read the next book soon-ish, which is Unloved. It's about, yeah, so because I think Riz, his friend group, there's 3 guys. It would be Riz, Bennett, and Freddie. And now we're following Freddie's book. It's significantly longer. Yeah, it's like 150 pages more than Unsteady, although I'm really not intrigued enough in continuing this series. I think a couple of weeks ago I bought the trilogy. Kind of regretting my choice. I think I'm gonna still read it. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna also read Unbound eventually, because Unbound is quite interesting. I think I'm really intrigued in reading Unbound. And also the fourth book is coming out, because I think it's quite interesting to read the male main character's story, because the accident that happened to Riz in this book is because of Torrin Kane. I don't remember his name. Kane. His last name is Kane. We'll be reading his story in the fourth book, so I think it's quite interesting to see like a villain story. Like, that's why I really love going back to a book that I just read, The Songbird of Ballad and Snakes. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I really enjoyed that book because I get a glimpse of how Snow is, or how the villain is, or how they grew up and what make them that way. So I think that's quite interesting. Okay, the next book that I read is Please Don't Go by E. Salvador. I think this book, though, a 5-star. The thing is, the only beef I have with this book is that, again, too many spicy scenes. I love the slow burn aspect of this book. I can tell you what it's about. We're following Josie and Daniel. Josie is a professional swimmer and Daniel is a professional baseball player. Yeah, I know, it's like a back-to-back sports romance apparently, but I'm currently just craving some good books and I couldn't find it. Obviously I find it, but I'm still looking for like a 6-star read, because I feel like if I give it a 5-star, it's not 100% a 5-star, if you know what I mean, unless they're a 6-star read. Anyway, going back. This book, we start off with Josie trying to commit suicide. And Daniel was there and he prevented the whole thing from happening. And since then, he kept showing up for her because pretty much she felt like in her life she has no one. And she felt in her life that since the passing of her mom, that nobody really cares if she's around, that she doesn't have like the will to continue living because she's not looking forward to doing anything. She has no friends, and her ex kept saying that she has no personality, that she's so dry. I'm annoyed at that guy. But moving on. And Daniel kept showing up afterwards. It kept like giving her the small post-it notes saying, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you're here. And I feel like she built trust with Daniel, and yeah, they both are very heavily traumatized people. Josie mainly because of her mom and the way her mom treated her, and like combination with her personality as well. With Daniel is that he witnessed his brother dying, and his relationship with his parents and his family is very strained because he felt responsible of his brother's death, so to say. They're like working through it, but pretty much in this book we're following like how Daniel is convincing Josie that Josie is not as bad as Josie thinks she is. And yeah, obviously they fell for each other. And what I really like about this book that I don't see in Unsteady it feels like her problems and his problems went away just because they're together. And I feel like, I know I'm reading a fiction book, but I feel like that's just too unrealistic because of how, just general, I feel like you need to work on yourself to be good with someone else, so to say. And seeing that pan out where like, oh, all I need to fix myself is you. I feel like that's completely wrong in a way. And this book, Please Don't Go, they both, although like as much as I hate the third act breakup, I think here it's quite necessary because they both need a wake-up call, and they both need to be comfortable with their own self. They need to like grow as a person, heal as a person, to come together and become like a stronger couple, so to say. Really enjoyed that. I love the found family in this book. Daniel has like a group of baseball players, like his friends, I think 5 of them, and I'm so excited to read about his best friend story. I think it will probably be the next book because he's teased so many times in this book. It's probably like his best friend and his sister, I think. And Josie, she has nobody, but then now with Daniel, the boys also kind of like adopted her to their circle, and then she also has like a friend group that is Daniel's sister and like a girl called Vienna. So I really enjoyed like reading about them. I think it's so realistic. I'm not gonna say too much because it is a contemporary romance book, and I think you just need to pick it up yourself. And I think this probably is one of my favorite, like, more heavy topic contemporary romance, so to say, like more emotional, more like deeper topics. I really enjoyed that. I'm gonna talk to you guys real quick about the manhwa I've been reading. I've been reading 2 manhwa and 1 manga. Let me take out my phone. I don't remember the title of them. So I've been reading a old manhwa. So I've read this probably like 2-3 years ago, and I've had the urge of like reading a modern romance manhwa because I've been reading on and off like an isekai reincarnation, like back in the days where like princess, dukes, and that kind of stuff, like royalty, for so long. I keep reading it like on and off always, like throughout the years, and then now I'm just craving for like something contemporary. And I remember that I really enjoyed this specific story, so I'm rereading it. Total 83 chapters. Also, I have it on my phone. It's called Positively Yours. Can I open the thing? Yeah, but I mean the cover is not so good, but I mean I'll just show you the cover on the screen. It's called Positively Yours, and it has 83 chapters, and I am 55 chapters in, and I'm planning to finish this tonight. I've also been reading another manhwa. It's called There Must Be Happy Endings. I am chapter 50 out of 113. I can show you. I'll also show it on the screen. Really intriguing. I feel like, but sometimes the translation is quite interesting for this one. Anyway, and then the one that I've been reading is because I saw someone recommending it. I'm still chapter 7 out of 56. It's still ongoing, I think. It's called A Sign of Affection. I'm not gonna talk too much into it. It's pretty much all contemporary romance. They're all super sweet, and I love slow burn romance. And it's like a whole different experience when you just read like texts, and then you read like manhwa and manga. They're like, they visualize it for you, so they've done the work. Kind of nice. Anyway, so before I end this vlog, I do want to finish one more book. I want to read more. So I think I'm gonna decide tomorrow, but this is my plan. I'm either gonna finish Lady Midnight, because I am pretty much halfway through this. I can for sure finish this tomorrow if I want to. The thing is with this is quite heavy. I feel like I'm just not in the mood for like a heavy, it's not that it's like heavy fantasy. It's the topic that they're dealing with here, with like Julian dealing with his brother, what's his name? Mark, is it? Yeah, Mark. And Emma dealing with the parents' death. It gets quite a bit. And I know this is probably going to be one of my favorite series in the Shadowhunter world, but it is also a series that I'm nervous getting into. So that's why I keep like pushing it off. And I've stopped reading this. I started reading this beginning of March. I made a huge progress, like halfway into the book. And then I stopped because I was reading like different series. So I had like a 1-month break, and now I'm going to go back into it. So we shall see. Or I can also read Sunrise on the Reaping, and then I would finish / conclude the books that I need to read in the Hunger Games world. So we shall see. I hope maybe I can finish both. and then I'll update you. I think I'm gonna take you guys along until I finish one of them, or maybe I'll just put a cutoff either tomorrow or the day after, I think. But yeah, that's the long update that I have because I did read a lot. But yeah, I think tomorrow morning though, I do want to journal a little bit. I feel like I have not journaled at all. I don't know what I want to journal. I don't know what kind of spread I want to make, but we shall see. Maybe I'll make like the Hunger Games spread. I'm not making any promises because as much as I love dedicating like spreads for journals, like no, spreads for series, it's quite daunting because I feel like I can never like create them like how I want to create them because I cannot nail the aesthetic of the series completely. Anyway, I'm just on a tangent. But yeah, that's the update. I'm really, really loving all the books I've been reading. I mean, all the manhwas and manga I've been reading. This one is a little bit of a disappointment. I really want to just like donate this to immediately, although I've not read this. But I will keep it because sometimes I do have moments where I do want to read like contemporary romance with no emotional depth. Although it's quite rare in between, like I don't need it as often as before. Right now I'm just loving reading fantasy. But anyway, and then obviously Please Don't Go is a 5-star read. I'm loving this. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna talk to you guys probably tomorrow or the day after, and we shall end the vlog then. Okay, I'll talk to you later. So, I am here to finally end off the vlog. I did not manage to read as much as I thought I would in the past 2 days. Now it's a Wednesday, and I know I told you that I'm gonna read for 2 more days and hopefully finish 2 books. I did not. So let me talk about the books that I did not manage to wait, or how do I do this? Okay, let's do a recap on all the books that I read. Obviously, I'm not gonna go too in depth into some of the books that I already talked about. But the first book that I finish is The Nightingale. I will eventually print out the sleeves so that it does not look naked like this. And I think even like the naked hardcover itself, it's already quite dirty. So I thought it would be nice as a side project to print out the sleeve. I will do that. It is a 5-star read. Was so very good, very heartbreaking, very wholesome moments. And there are, yeah, I think it's just a very heartfelt, heart-wrenching kind of book. Moving on to the next book I read. I talked about this book with you guys. Did not enjoy it as much as I thought I would. It did remind me of Johnny and Shannon from Binding 13, but in a less crazy way. So yeah, that's Unsteady. I think though, I'm gonna donate this book ASAP. ASAP as in, when I decide to donate some books, this will be one of the books that will be going into the pile. The next book I read is on my Kindle. I do not have the cover anymore, but it was Please Don't Go by E. Salvador. Was so good. A 5-star read. I am such a sucker for a slow burn-ish friends to lovers. Not really friends to lovers, but more like slow burn, emotional romance, and like it was just so good. And the ending and the realistic third act breakup, amazing. 5-star read as well. Borderline 6-star read. I keep thinking about that book, so we shall see. It is for sure a 5-star. Whether it's a 6-star, you'll know. I'll talk about it more. And then the next book that I did read is Sunrise on the Reaping, which I will talk a little bit more now, guys. I don't know what is up with Suzanne Collins whenever she wrote this, but this book was so heartbreaking for, I feel like, no reason. Not no reason, but like for, I don't know why. I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's just so heartbreaking seeing Haymitch go through his Hunger Games because of how horrible it was. Like Snow was, oh my gosh, guys. I said I really enjoyed seeing the background story of the Songbird and Ballads. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Although I did, knowing that Lenore Dove is a Baird, which is the last name of Lucy Gray's last name. Wait, where am I going? Lucy Gray's last name is also Baird. So, and the ending where his family, honestly, 5-star read. But why? Why does it have to be so painful like that? I'm not gonna talk too much. I know, like in the Hunger Games vlog, I talk more openly about Sunrise on the not Sunrise on the Reaping. I talk more openly about like what the plot is, what happened. I think this one though, you just have to go in quite blindly. And plus, I'm not gonna give a spoiler section when it comes to this book right now. But I think if you really enjoy the Hunger Games trilogy, this is definitely an interesting perspective to see why Haymitch is the way Haymitch is. Yeah, in the end, there's like a little epilogue. And I feel like every single book in the Hunger Games world needs a longer epilogue because I'm just like living off crumbs. So yeah, kind of mad, but also kind of eating. So 5-star read for this. The 2 books that I have been trying to continue is, I said that I want to focus on Lady Midnight and finish it so I can like, I don't know, make more progress. I did not. I read 2 chapters, I think, the past 2 days. Not that much the past 2 days as in today. And yesterday, I've been in the mood to find a 6-star read, because although I found like 5-star reads, I feel like 6-star read will go to my like absolute best of the best books ever that I cannot stop thinking about every day, and I have not found that this year yet, I think, except one. Is it one? I'm not sure. That's borderline 5-star, not 6 stars. So I heard from so many people that this book is so good, so I decided to pick it up. It is Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf. It is a crazy book. It is a dystopian book where it's quite rough, guys. I am currently chapter 19 slash 46% into the book. We're following a bunch of characters, but there is two area, I guess, of this world. There's a place called the Heart where everything is thriving, but like power is heavily abused there. And there's also the outside, which is called the Boundaries, or the Boundary. And we're following our main character Grayson and Shade. Shade is a Daggermouth, which is like mercenary, and Grayson is called the Executioner because he's the son of the president. And in this world, I don't remember what the country is called. Pretty much, if you fall in love, if you fall out of line, you will get executed. And you will get executed publicly. And who will execute you? The executioner, obviously. And that's Grayson. And Shade, I think her parents got executed by by an executioner that is not Grayson. And then now, since she's a mercenary, someone gave her a contract to kill Grayson. And she tried to pull that off, but somehow ended up in an arranged marriage. Yeah, so it's like definitely forced proximity, arranged marriage, enemies to lovers, because they come from like two separate places. So yeah, I'm so far enjoying it. Whether it's gonna be even a 5-star read, I am not sure. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying Lady Midnight also even more. So yeah, honestly, this week I did read 4 books. I think it's not a week anymore. I think it's a week and a half. I read 4 books and 50% into 2 books. So I would consider it a success. I definitely mood read this week. I don't want to continue to mood read though, because I feel like I've just been strict with my reading, and I would love to read other things. And I feel like I am a little bit bored of the fantasy genre right now, because everything is just like shadow daddies, enemies to lovers, enemies to lovers. And I feel like I've seen all sorts of romantasy plots right now, although obviously not, but I think it's a reading slump, my reading slump talking. So I'm taking a little break. That's why I'm reading a lot of dystopian. But every time I read a dystopian, I always regret it. Not regret in a sense. I always feel like, dang, why did I even get into this kind of books? Because it's so heartbreaking. Especially Sunrise and the Reaping did kill me a little. And obviously, Daggermouth is also quite harrowing. The things that are happening there. Anyway, guys, before I make this vlog even longer, I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy watching me mood read for a whole week and a half. But yeah, I'm gonna continue and start another vlog, and obviously gonna try and finish these 2 books, and then we're gonna mood read. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that in the next vlog. But I will end this vlog here. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your time. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in my next one. Goodbye.